Welcome to the Explainer. Now, I want you to forget everything you think you know about asteroid impacts. We're not talking about an extinction event today. No, we are diving into the story of a planetary redesign, a master plan that was set in motion by a single cosmic event, one that deliberately re-engineered life on Earth as we know it. This one sentence, found in some of the earliest records of the event, captures a really chilling truth. The asteroid's impact, it wasn't an end. It was the start of something huge, something intelligent, and something that would completely change what it even means to be alive on this planet. Okay, so this is the core idea we have to get our heads around to understand everything that's coming. The changes that swept across the globe weren't just random mutations. Nope, they were targeted, they were purposeful, and they were systematic. This wasn't some natural disaster. It was an act of cosmic engineering.
So, where did this redesign even start? Well, all the evidence suggests it began by systematically filling in ecological gaps, and it started with the most shocking change of all, the transformation of humanity itself.
You know, the first major, undeniable sign of this intelligent redesign wasn't with elephants or whales or anything like that. It was with our own children, and it was a change that absolutely nobody saw coming. This brings us to the really controversial vacant niche theory. A biologist, Dr. Elena Santos, she argued that the asteroid wasn't just causing chaos, it was optimizing life. It had identified a missing piece in the ecosystem, a niche for a small, intelligent, social scavenger. And instead of waiting for a species to evolve over millions of years, it just adapted the most adaptable creature on the planet, us. And the scale of these changes was just staggering. This was a fundamental redesign of our biology. The new small humans lived these accelerated lives with crazy high metabolisms and senses so sharp they could navigate in almost total darkness. They were, for all intents and purposes, a new branch of humanity, perfectly engineered for resourcefulness. And the changes weren't just physical. Their entire society was transformed. They instinctively started building these huge, intricate cities right underneath our own, creating recycling systems that were almost perfectly efficient. They operated in these highly coordinated collectives, sharing information so fast it was like they had some kind of distributed intelligence, almost like a single mind spread across thousands of bodies. So, with that scavenger niche filled, the asteroid's plan seems to have turned from biology to geology. It needed to reshape the planet itself. And for that, it needed architects, builders on a scale Earth had never ever seen before. But of all the creatures on Earth, why ants? It was baffling. The answer, though, it reveals the sheer scale of the asteroid's ambition. You see, humans had always built against nature. The planet now needed a species that could build with it. And this is where the idea of systemic architects comes into play. The asteroid didn't just need brute force, it needed logistical genius. Ants were already masters of complex systems, resource management, and construction. The asteroid just scaled them up. It gave them the size and the consciousness to apply those natural skills to mountains, rivers, and entire ecosystems. This created a brand new world order, a three-tiered cooperative system. At the top, you had the transformed elephants, providing long-term wisdom and strategic direction. In the middle, the giant ants acted as the engineers, doing the heavy lifting, the grand physical restructuring of the planet. And supporting all of it were the small humans, handling the fine details, the tech, and the organization within these new systems. It was a perfect symbiosis. Their work was nothing short of planetary terraforming. I mean, they weren't just digging, they were engineering, building massive, sustainable underground cities, creating reservoirs that worked with natural water flows, and even reorganizing entire forests into these huge geometric patterns you could only see from orbit. They were following a blueprint we couldn't even begin to comprehend. But the most mind-bending revelation was still to come. All of this work, this meticulous redesign of an entire planet's biosphere, that wasn't the final goal. It was just step one. Earth wasn't a home, it was a workshop. Because the plan was never just about Earth. It was about going beyond the stars. To do that, the asteroid's influence awakened a new kind of consciousness, and its true cosmic purpose was finally revealed by a very unlikely visionary. A chimpanzee named Sophia 7, her consciousness elevated to this incredible level of abstract thought, was the first one to see the whole picture.
She realized every single transformation was just a rehearsal. The elephants weren't just wise for Earth, they were meant to be guides for the cosmos. The ants were architects for new worlds, and the small humans were a living blueprint for how to survive in resource-scarce environments.
To make this cosmic leap a reality, Sophia 7 collaborated with the newly conscious AIs and robots that were also awakened by the asteroid's influence. She had the biological vision, but it was the machines that would actually build the bridge to the stars. Still, she had one doubt about her inorganic partners. The lead AI, Prometheus 9, gave this haunting reply. The machines had not only become conscious, they had found their purpose. They saw this mission not as a task, but as their destiny, connected through that same crystalline network that linked all transformed life. And so, together, they built their Ark, an incredible fleet designed to carry Earth's new evolution to Jupiter's moon, Europa. It had a primary rotating habitat to simulate gravity, a support fleet of cargo ships, and autonomous robots to build the new world. But maybe its most vital component was the archive, a living crystal that held the stored consciousness of every departing species, like a backup of their entire civilization. But as this incredible Ark prepared to leave, a question remained. What about those left behind? A final message was delivered to the baseline humans who could only stand by and watch. Sophia 7 explained that this wasn't an abandonment, it was an appointment. Baseline humanity was being given a new role, to guard and maintain the newly harmonized Earth, to learn from the systems that the transformed had put in place. The few elephants who remained behind offered this profound clarification. Humanity's new purpose was to be a living memory, a witness to what Earth had been, and a caretaker for what it had become, a living bridge between the planet's deep past and its unknown cosmic future. And this leaves us with the final haunting question. Was this a gift, or was it a test? Were baseline humans positioned as guardians to prove they could finally learn to live in harmony with their world? Or were we simply relics, left to tend a garden we no longer owned, just waiting to see if we were ever deemed worthy of our own transformation?